Todd, good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me this morning.
I appreciate you having us.
Our main focus of our meeting today is to talk about online leads. But before we jump into that, maybe you'll tell me a little bit about Gulf Shore Cooling.
Well, Gulf Shore Cooling has been in business for 30 years. We're a residential air conditioning company down in sunny Southwest Florida. We've been in the retail sector for 20 years, starting with one Home Depot and growing up to 16, along with the recent onboarding of 3 Costco's. The retail sector is a great source, a lead source, and it really builds strong relationships with our partners and has consistent best practices within our industry.
So as you know, we've been through a lot the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
COVID's made some major changes to the business, and research has shown that online sales have moved 5 years into the future in 6 short months. How has this change impacted Gulf Shore's business?
Well, with COVID and the limitations of our face-to-face lead generation and the restrictions within the warehouse, we saw an enormous lift in e-commerce. And retail, along with Gulf Shore Cooling, obviously saw a huge opportunity and a need to make sure our online presence was very strong with social media and online to keep those leads coming.
Now, with this swift and massive change we've seen in online leads, it must have challenged you internally at your company. So what administrative changes would you have made internally to to take care of the online leads?
Well, having the correct software is very important. You know, a dedicated team that sets those leads. They have to have personality plus, strong sense of urgency, because it's really all about the team.
So the last key point that you just made was a strong sense of urgency. So we know that these leads are really time sensitive. So can you describe the process that you have in place at Gulf Shore Cooling for managing these leads?
Well, exactly. You want to funnel these leads to the dedicated team and a dedicated email address. And by doing so, you can set up special alerts and ringtones on their mobile devices and their computers. It's like lights, sirens going off, all hands on deck. Must have 3 points of contact, right? Call the customer within 5 to 10 minutes. If you don't contact them, follow them up with a text message and then an email. Back to the CRM tool, you can set up alerts on that email to notify the back office whether it's opened up or not, which helps with, of course, a consistent follow-up process.
So with such a fine-tuned process, I can easily see why Gulf Shore Cooling has had so much success increasing your online business. When it comes to closing the sale, it's all about the quality of the lead. How would you compare the quality of your online leads to your traditional leads that you generate through your retail stores?
Higher closing ratio, period. You have a customer calling in with a need or a want. That's why speed is critical.
Okay. So what would you say the average close rate is for your online lead?
In the high 40s.
And how would that compare to your self-generated leads?
About in the high 30s with our self-generated leads.
Okay. So Tyler, I think I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to run with it anyways.
Shoot.
So you're telling me you got a 10-point advantage on the online leads versus self-generated leads. So how do your comfort advisors feel about running the online leads?
Well, we all know time is money, right? And a comfort advisor or salesman would prefer to run a lead that has a need and also has a consistent high closing ratio, right? It's all common sense.
It certainly is, yeah. So Tyler, we've got higher closing rates, motivated comfort advisors. This all sounds absolutely fantastic. But is there anything that you can think of, any obstacles that will prevent the dealer from implementing a process similar to what you have at Gulf Shore Cooling in managing your online leads?
Well, someone once told me that fear freezes a dealer from success.
That key point there you make, that fear freezes a dealer from success. Can you expand on that a little bit and explain it?
Well, the fear of diving into some of these software programs and online tools, they're very expensive. And we all know that training can be very expensive. But not training is far more expensive.
Yeah. So to summarize, then basically what you're telling me is you get what you pay for?
Absolutely, Brian. You sound like one of my comfort advisors at the dining room table.
At the end of the day, what is the key to success with online leads?
Designated process with a designated team with a strong sense of urgency.
Tyler, as we close out this discussion, what advice would you give to a dealer that's trying to improve his capability in this area?
Of course, invest in your people, invest in your CRM, come up with the process, come up with the scripting, hold the team accountable, consistent training.
Tyler, I really appreciate you taking the time to visit with me today,
Thank you for having me.
and provide your best practices for the sales force.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.